Hey there guys, welcome back, Ricky here. Alright, if you guys are watching this video, you guys probably had the same question I had when searching for a whetstone. Was the question of, should you buy a ceramic rod or honing steel in addition to your whetstone? Okay, sorry about that. So the question I had was, well, based on my research, was a lot of people were asking that question. Do I need to buy a honing steel to maintain my knives on a daily basis, or before every use, in addition to sharpening my knives once a week or once every couple of weeks, whatever that may be? And there are a lot of conflicting answers, and and being the researcher that I am, I don't like to simply read people's opinions and then go with it, and I like to test it for myself. So I went ahead and bought a ceramic rod. This is a supposedly a 3,000 or 6,000 grit rod. Most ceramic rods will rate in that category, in that range. Sometimes they can rate it at 2,500, but typically you'll see them at the 3,000 to 6,000 grit rating. And it's a little different than, well, it's a lot different than a Japanese whetstone. So they're really not apples to apples, but this is really the finest rod that I can find. And so we're going to do a quick test today. This will be a really short video. I've got my two Sojiros that are still pretty sharp from a couple of previous videos. And I've got a, hopefully an equivalent whetstone. This is a 3,000 grit Naniwa Superstone. Okay, so I went with this stone because it is a splash and go. And this, they're both non-soaking. And hopefully they're relatively close in terms of grit range. Yeah, so I'm going to do something that that maybe you guys have been wanting to do, but have never had a chance to do. So I'm going to compare them directly. I'm going to use the rod the way they recommend. It's just doing broad strokes. And I'm going to do simply stropping on the whetstone. And maybe I'll do 10 strokes per side, and then see how they compare in terms of a cut. Then I'll do maybe another 10 and see how they compare as well. And hopefully that'll give you guys a better indication of whether or not you should buy a whetstone and a ceramic rod, or just a ceramic rod, or just a whetstone. Okay? So I have my trusty brick here. So let's do a quick cut test before we start. And right, so here we go, some newspaper. It's raining here in LA. You guys believe it? Like, it's actually raining, and so everything's a little damp. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue. This is a folder. Okay, here we go. Wet spot. Okay, so it's sharp. And so is this guy. Okay, so they're both very sharp right now. So I'm going to artificially dull them with my trusty brick. Let's put you aside. And let's put you aside. Alright, so let's just, instead of doing like 20 or 30 strokes like what I usually do, I'm just going to do maybe 5 strokes on each side, on each blade. And let's see how they cut after 5 strokes. 4. Alright. Alright. Okay, so they're really very dull. Okay. Yeah, okay. They're not cutting anything. Alright, so let's do the recommended usage on the rod and see how it does. So on the rod, we're going to go just, let's try 10 strokes per side. It's 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Let's do a quick cut test here. Okay, it brought it back. Okay, very nice. So we do know that that can work. And let's try whetstone. I'm just gonna do it right here on this platform. Just give it a little bit of water. Actually, I'm gonna put a towel underneath it. Okay. Okay, so it's a 10 per side, right? Two, three, all right, that's 10. Okay, so let's do a quick quick wipe. All right. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this whole end here is really wet. So the stone brought the knife back as well, not surprisingly. So let's go a little further. Let's go another 10 on each side and see how they hold up. And here we go here. Two, three, four, 6, 7, 10. Okay. One more. Okay, that's 10. Okay, let's go over here. And all right, let's go 10 strokes. 1, 6, 7, 9. All right, here's 10. Okay. All right, let's do one final wipe down. Okay, so let's do another cut test and see how they hold up. Maybe I should really get a drier sheet newspaper here, if I even have one. All right, let's just try it. Okay, so here's the whetstone. Oh, this is impossible. Yeah, this is not good. Let's try this guy. Yeah, this is a little dry. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it feels really good. And there. Yeah, this is impossible to cut. Okay. It's got to find a dry side. Here we go. Let's try this side. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. Well, it looks like the ceramic rod has done a better job at this point. And let's try it again. Yeah, the ceramic rod is a little better. Okay. I'm actually a little surprised by that. Well, they're about the same. They're about the same. Yeah, the ceramic rod has a slightly higher pitch cut, and that usually means that it's cutting a little better than the stone. So yeah, you know, I mean, so the I guess the question is, you know, should you buy a honing rod or ceramic rod? And you can, you know, as you can see, the stone still brought the knife back to an edge, but the stone is not meant to be designed. You know, the stone is actually not designed to be only stropped, you know, and then cut with. You know, a stone you can, you know, for people like who like to sharpen the knives every day, you go through a sharpening action. You know, the stone is not going to take off the same amount of material that the rod is, and so, and you know, you typically want to go through a sharpening action first, and then you strop on a stone. But with the rod, it's designed to be only stropped or stroked, and so. Yeah, if you're going to be using something like this on a daily basis, yeah, you can. I wouldn't get a stone and a rod personally. I would just get a stone, and you know, with the rod, it's great at the higher grit end. But sooner or later, your knife will actually need sharpening. You know, the rod's purpose is, well, at least in a traditional sense, the steel rod. You know, steel rod will actually realign the edge of your knife. And over time, you know, when you bend metal, you know, back and forth so often, the metal actually will just break off, and then you're actually left with just with not a very sharp edge. But the ceramic rod actually do take off material, as you can see. There is, you know, some dark areas where the knife blade touched the rod, so it is taking off material, and you know, so. You know, for short-term use, sure. But you know, if you're in that stage where you're trying to figure out should you buy both, one or the other, I would say get a three. You know, I mean, if you don't, let's say this is $65 retail price, which I purchased a few months back. If you go with a king stone, you know, and if you're kind of debating a king stone, you get a 1,000 grit sharpening and a 6,000 grit polishing, and so these are like, you know, retail for, you can find these for between $55 and $65, and so for the same price, you actually have two grits that you can sharpen and polish on, and I think that'd be a much better deal for you than just simply a rod. But that's my take on it. You guys can, you know, do as you feel. You know, this stone here, 3,000 grit. I think this is like $87. Okay, so just keep in mind these are like $70 or something like that. They are a little bit more expensive, but it's an investment. You know, for people who love sharpening their own knives, this is an awesome stone. So you can get one of these. If you are the type that would want to sharpen your knife every day, a higher grit stone will actually work perfectly fine. You don't have to go with a lower grit stone. If you're the type that likes to sharpen your knife every day, and or every 2-3 days, but you still want a lower grit stone at some point. So, you know, I would recommend going with a really affordable 1,000 grit stone and 6,000 grit combination, or going with something like this and then maybe a cheaper 1,000 grit stone. And you really can't get any cheaper than, price-wise, not quality, than the King KDS combination stone or the King Deluxe 1000, and then the S1, S2, or S3 6000 stone. They're very affordable, and they do really, really well. You can see one of my videos actually testing this stone, and I really enjoy this stone in terms of tactile feel and how sharp the knife actually gets. So hopefully that clears a few things up for you guys. Honing rods do work. Ceramic rods do work. But in the long run, you might want to think about having a set of stones to complement a lower grit stone to complement the finer grit rod. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. We'll have a lot more videos coming out of a lot of other stones behind me, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think. If I messed up this comparison, please let me know if you think I can improve it. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.